Okay. Anybody would like to speak? No? Okay. Beautiful. All right, my loves. So let's quickly do a beautiful recap of what we've been on a journey, because I feel like there's been so much that we've covered. I've kind of looked back today and I was like, whoa, I've given you guys so much to digest. So, okay, so day one, I put you through the wound portal. And we really discovered that the subconscious mind is the blueprint. It is the map to all of the narratives, all of the stories and the patterns in our relationships. And these subconscious templates, they are based around our wounds. They are based around our traumas. And so the trauma response that we have towards certain things is what actually holds us back from the healthy relationships that we want to create. Yes, yes, yes. And so we end up attracting someone who we think, feel, and act as a mirror to us. And everything that they bring out of us is actually within us. Yes, yes. So when we look at relationships specifically, our belief system, our emotional capacity, how we feel our emotions, how we navigate our emotions, our emotional intelligence, and really the stories that we tell ourselves kind of creates a basis to how we navigate relationships. And we've begun to dive deeper. As I've told you that every relationship is the exchange between the masculine and the feminine, right? And we have both masculine and feminine energy within us. Both men and women have masculine energy because it creates balance, it creates polarity. And that is one of the laws of the universe that we were talking about, that there's always the good, the bad, the black, the white. Basically, there's always an opposite to everything that we have. And so why is this important? Because our masculine and feminine energy is like the core energy to us. And so we know that like the animus and the anima and animus archetypes, they kind of stem from the core physiology as well of who we are. So usually women will tend to be at the core of their feminine and men will tend to be at the core of their masculine, unless there is a biochemical change both in the brain and the body that causes the person to have to embody the different or the opposite core energy. And we all have a core energy. And so that is really primarily affected, which we found out in day two. In claiming the feminine, we found out that it is really determined by the mother and father dynamics in our lives and when we are growing up. And so our feminine is really shaped by the relationship that we have both with our mother and with our father. And we've begun to move through the mother wounds, and today we're going to move through the father wounds. Now you have to realize that you may have both to a certain extent. Remember, everything is on a spectrum, including trauma. And although trauma is, we kind of have to normalize the word trauma because it's kind of like a really clinical term to something that's really severe, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's not really true. Trauma is anything that happened to us that as a consequence, we are protecting ourselves later on in life. That's all that is. And it can be like a one-time small experience where we create a subconscious association in our minds that this is the truth. Because as you remember, as I told you, from the ages of 0 to 7, we are completely subconscious. It is a totally blank canvas for us. And so we automatically take everything as the truth. We don't have a conscious filter. That is the ego. And so the ego tends to filter out everything for us, to the point where the ego is always trying to protect us. And what tends to happen when the ego is trying to protect us, we go into the fight or flight response based on the memories and the past traumas and the past associations that the ego flags up and says, hey, we've been hurt before. We ain't going there. And so we automatically sabotage, we don't sabotage, we protect ourselves from getting hurt again. How many of us have been there before? I want you to write BTB, hashtag BTB, if you've been there before, if you've been hurt. I've got my comments up so I can see all of you, my loves. If you've actually unconsciously been protecting yourself from love even. I know that I have, and I know that many of my clients have too. So it's really about becoming aware of all of these patterns and not shying away from our emotions. Like I said to you yesterday, all emotions should be felt. All emotions are okay. They're neutral. They're not good or bad emotions. They're not like low vibe, high vibe. We are human beings, and there's a spectrum of emotions, and we have to experience them all, and we have to learn how to master them. Because each and every single emotion in your body is telling you information. Each and every story in your body is giving you information, vital information that we must listen to. And the more we get into our bodies, the more we get inside our bodies, we come back into our bodies because it's safe to be in the body. So that's the truth. When we have all of these emotions that are repressed in the body, this is really our somatic work. When we have all of these emotions repressed in the body, what tends to happen is it's unsafe. These emotions are not safe because we haven't processed them. We haven't sat down and said, okay, when this person died, this is what happened inside of me. And when this person left me and hurt me, this is what happened inside of me. And you know what tends to happen? Because we are energetic creatures, and this goes back to the first day one that we had, is that because everything is in vibration, everything is energetic. So you are made up of atoms. Your thoughts are energy, and they carry a frequency. What tends to happen is we still emotionally, because we haven't emotionally healed those wounds, we carry a template, we carry an energetic template. And this template is actually attached to another human being still, even though they've left you, you've not seen them for many years. Have you done the clearance? Have you done the emotional and mental clearance that energetically shifts you into a different frequency, which then allows you to attract a different frequency to the frequency that you've been attracting for the past 20 years of your life? Are you with me? Are you a yes, yes? Is this a yes, yes? Are we all on the same page? Let me see the comments. Yes. Right? It goes deep, honeys. But this is what we're here for. I'm literally taking you through all of it. We're not scraping the surface here. I'm telling you how we navigate and how these things go. And so we've now learned that feminine is safety. Without feminine energy, we are always a plane that never lands. We lift off and we stay ungrounded, and we never come back down to refuel. And what does that do? What does that do to our bodies? It burns us out. I just realized I need to pin myself. Let me pin myself. And so when it burns us out, what happens? I see this in the most driven women that I work with, the CEOs, the business owners, the coaches, someone who runs something, a woman that has to lead. And I actually saw a video the other day, and a woman was saying that you cannot embody your feminine energy and still be a CEO or still lead with power, be in a leading high position and still lead. How many of you agree to this? How many of us agree to this? Because this is important. Because if you don't know the answer to this, then you don't understand energetics. You don't understand feminine and masculine. So I need you to be honest now, because we're moving for I disagree. Perfect. Good. Because you can. We've just learned, because the world is solely patriarchal, because we've got patriarchal systems, masculine systems, we are literally coming into the system daily. We get our bags, we put our shoes on, we walk over to the job that we do, whatever we're doing. Everything is based on masculine structures. So of course, as human beings, it is in our nature to adhere to the environment around us so that we don't be left out. We're not left out. It is natural to us. But we are the change makers, honeys. My loves, we are the change makers. Disagree. Good. Awesome. You're on the same page. We're on the same page. You have to claim the feminine. We are in the age of claiming the feminine. This is what this is about. And so we have to understand that claiming the feminine requires you to also reconcile the masculine, reconcile the pain, the anger, the shame, the wounds that have been brought up for you through the masculine, your relationship to the masculine. And you need to claim that back too. Not the overworked workaholic, must grind myself to the ground and all of that kind of stuff. No, we need to begin to embody both of the energies and bring back balance and homeostasis in our bodies. Is in your body. Because you're an energetic field. Your mind, your subconscious mind, is in your body. Yes, there is the brain center that controls everything through the nervous system, but you're a walking organism, and that organism is made up of energy. It's incredible. Energy, all that is to a shaman, that's spirit. We're made up of spirit. That's all we're made up of, and we're made up of this collective soul. And why am I telling you this? It's because that is part of the training that we do at School of Self-Reclamation. We go so deep that we bring back the spiritual disconnect that has happened due to the inner child wounding through our lives. This is why we are so wounded. We are so layered, like that onion that I was telling you about yesterday. The ego, the wounded ego, it shuts us off from our spiritual connection. And when we don't have divine guidance, then it's really difficult to trust. But as women, we naturally are a source, a vessel to allow the spirit to come through us. That is the beauty, and that is the surrendering. And this is not even esoteric stuff. This is based on science. This is all based on science and quantum physics, neuroscience, and all that kind of stuff. Because we have the power to create. Because we have to open up to that. We have to say yes to that. So today we're reconciling the masculine. And so really, feminine magnetism means sourcing your light from within. It means being so powerful within yourself that you don't require anybody else's opinion. You do not require anybody else's energy. You do not require anybody else's emotions. You don't require, because you're sourcing everything from within. And so when you begin to stop seeking for things outside of yourself and start to look within you and see how much of the light you already have, it will be much easier for you to obsess less about the partner that you're bringing in. Because the more you're in the needy energy, the more you cannot let go of this idea, the more you clench something really hard and hold on to something, what happens? It's like a rubber that you have, and you pull it really, really hard, and you pull it towards yourself. And then the moment you let go of the rubber, what happens? It bounces back, bounces all the way back, further away from you. This is literally how magnetism and energetics works. So you have to understand that we have to cultivate the self-worth all over again. We have to cultivate the confidence within you all over again. We have to find you. We have to reclaim you, who you are, who this beautiful Sarita, Claire, and everybody else is. These are the women. You, each and every one of you, is authentic within your own self. And you might not even realize the potential that you hold within you until you do this work. Until you do this work right here. Until you reprogram yourself from the societal condition, the patriarchal conditioning that has created these mother and father wounds. Because it's really not the fault of our parents. This is not what this is about. This is not about blaming our parents for not doing this, not doing that. And it's totally cool if you want to blame them. Say it out loud. Say it off the top of the buildings, skyscrapers, if this is what needs to come through for you, because we're not suppressing emotions, we're allowing everything to come through. But what is important is to understand is that they are simply, again, puppets of the system, and you are the one who's doing the work, so that you can break not only the generational wounds that have gone on through your ancestry lineage, but also your children. Not just for yourself, not just for finding a partner, not just to have somebody to love, to be loved. You're doing such a huge job for the generation that's coming through. It's incredible. So I want you to start to think. We think so much outside of ourselves. It is so vital for the magnetic woman to start thinking inwards. Start always prioritizing yourself. What is your hierarchy? It should be you, the divine, and the others. It shouldn't be others. You shouldn't be trying to serve every single person but yourself before you've served yourself, before you fed yourself, before you nourished and nurtured yourself. So, question, how often do you worry about the needs of your romantic interest before your own? So you go into a date, let's say, and do you ever feel like, oh my goodness, does this person like me? Am I doing this correct? Am I kissing correctly? Even when you're in a intimate setting, do you start to go into your head and start thinking, oh my goodness, my panties are this color and I haven't shaved, and what is they gonna think about my smell? And okay, so we're going deep, but I want you to think about these things, because the moment we bring awareness to these things, the moment we can begin to change them. Because all we're doing is we're breaking the repeating patterns, but we have to bring awareness to those repeating patterns. This is why this work isn't, it requires work. We're doing the work right now, isn't it? But once you do the work, this work gets so easy. I promise you. So I want you to think to yourselves right now, how often do you worry about the needs of your romantic interests before your own? You might say never. Totally good. Well done. You're there already. So now, again, how often do you think to yourself, do they like me? Before you think, do I like them? It's kind of like what am I trying to teach you is to stop projecting yourself into the other person, into the other people. What is it they think? What is it? What am I supposed to do? What is the answer to this question? Should I do this? Should I do that? Ask this, ask that. It's kind of bringing your sovereignty back. Grace says, but isn't that really that far away from feminine? Isn't that normal for women to worry about putting their best foot forward or to look their best? Gracie, do you want to get on, unmute yourself and just explain that question? Because I'm very interested. What you mean? It's probably the question about feminine and masculine, something about feminine and masculine. Am I having some troubles with my sound? Sorry. That should be working. I can't hear anything. That's not very good. Settings. Speaker. My sound is good. Okay. Can somebody just speak up? Oh, your microphone doesn't work. Okay. Because when I put my microphone, then I have to make sure that, yeah. Okay. Okay, well, we can discuss this at the end. So the whole point of these simple questions is to bring you out, snap you out of this whole pattern of, what do they think? What am I doing? What is it? It's like, no, I'm coming back into myself. I'm coming back into myself. And this is also the training that I give for empaths. Because empaths have learned, so people who have been needing to project themselves to the needs of their caregivers because their caregivers were so preoccupied with their own life stresses and troubles and they weren't emotionally available to their child, the child begins to adhere to the parents and everybody else, the rest of the people. This is how they begin to feel other people's pain. This is how they begin to feel other emotions that other people are feeling. This is how they're so sensitive. This is how we train this. And it's a gift. It's a gift, but we need to tame it. We need to become intuitive with it. So have a think, what has all of this cost you? So what has simply not being in your power cost you? And I want some people in the comments right now. It's tumbleweed in the comments right now. So I want more of you getting involved and speaking up. What has this cost you? Not being in your power. This will begin to turn cogs in your mind. Loneliness. Beautiful. Anyone else? Anyone else? Loneliness is major, even with someone. Yes, that's so powerful. Yeah, I agree, Emily. We end up alone. Deep down, we are still empty. Yeah. So, I want you to take the power back. We need to take the power back. We need to take the power back of searching for approval outside of ourselves. So I want you to take your notepad and pen right now and write down, I approve myself because 10 reasons why. Remember yesterday I told you this is a neuroscience trick where we trick the brain into believing that we already approved. Because your mind needs to come up with 10 reasons why we are approved. Because you're going to come up with 10 reasons why, but you know the truth is your mind is thinking the opposite all the time, because this is the repeating pattern in your mind right now, in all of our minds. And why am I asking you all of these questions? Because when we're growing up, our mother we're connected to her. Like we're kind of at her hip. We look up to her, the mothering spirit that she is, the feminine figure that she is. And so the father is the masculine figure that we look up to. It is our first relationship we cultivate with a man. This is our first love. And so the relationship that we create, if we don't receive the love, the affection, the attention that we need from our father, we begin to want to fill this void later on in life by repeating the same patterns over and over again with men that have the same exact qualities as our fathers. And so we're seeking for approval and validation from men. We are seeking approval and validation from men. Yes, yes, yes. That's why I need you to do this exercise right now. Take your pen and paper and write down with huge letters, I approve myself because, and 10 reasons. And whilst you think of this, I want you to write them down in the comments as well. I approve myself because. Why? Why do you approve yourself? I approve myself because I'm a God's child. I'm already pure love. I approve myself because I am worthy of being alive. I approve myself because I am incredible at what I do. I approve myself because I am loving. I am grateful. I approve myself because whatever that is, whatever connects with you. So the masculine and the feminine dynamics really stem from the way we respond to the masculine will depend on how we responded to the father. And that is important because the same way I told you and we spoke yesterday about our mothers being under the patriarchal regime, and if our mothers did not do the work on themselves to decondition themselves from these aspects, which 95%, 99% of people haven't done. Because when you think about it, our parents were working, right? That's the first thing they're going to say. That's the first thing they're going to say to you. I didn't have time for no nonsense. I was working. I was running a business. I was running a family. I had children. I had to take care of children. Right? So it's the same way with the masculine as well, with the fathers. Most men did not grow up with a father figure that was healthy for them. So the father was either not there, not emotionally there because they were working all the time, because they were running something. They were fully embodying their animalistic senses. Because we're becoming more and more intelligent. We're developing more and more and more, and we're getting too much in our heads and not enough into our hearts. We don't navigate from our hearts. When we don't navigate from our hearts, we are disconnected from our emotions. And so are the fathers. They are totally disconnected from their emotions. And so this is why we crave, why won't you love me? Why won't you show me? We crave, do you know what we crave? We don't even crave the emotion from our father. We crave their presence. Because when you think about it, if you thought of all of the best memories in your life right now, all of the best memories in your childhood, like something that the happiest memories in your life, you're not going to think, oh, my dad bought me that 200 pound worth bag and I absolutely love the bag. You're not going to think of that. That was not the memory that's going to come up, because that's not connected to your emotion. What is going to come up is the times you spent with the people that you love most. It will be literally memories where you have been with your father, just sat in a park, or with your father riding a bike, with your father being at your birthday, or going to see your dance show or something, or your drama play or something when you are growing up. These are the memories that will come up because they're present and they're with you, and this is what we're craving. We are craving the presence of another human being, of being emotionally there, but that they won't be able to do that if they're not connected to their emotions. So what do you have to do? You, honey, have to connect with your emotions. Because everything comes back into you. As we already started with this session, I told you, you must seek for your inner light. That is what is going to show you the direction you need to be moving forwards. You cannot no longer, you can't afford to keep looking that this person is emotionally unavailable and this person is emotionally unavailable and this person is, for God's sake, when am I going to find someone who is emotionally available? Is when you find your emotions first. When you stop running away from your emotions. I approve myself because I raise my children with the help of God. Yes, yes. I approve myself for being a mentor to others. Yes, yes. Because I am enough. Yes, yes. This is so important. One of the exercises that I give to people is literally take this list, stand in front of your mirror in the morning and recite it in front of you as you gaze into your eyes, as you remind yourself who you are. It's a really powerful exercise. So we attract wounded masculine because we have wounded feminine. We can also have wounded masculine too, and they can have wounded feminine too. And so underneath all of this, I want to keep it simple so you understand, but underneath is actually, you can begin to even look at each wound separately, each trauma that has happened to you, something that has happened to you may actually be reciprocal in the person that you've attracted. And so, like I said to you yesterday, it is not about healing yourself for 20 years and then going out to find the person that is healthy masculine. No, it's allowing yourself to be imperfect, just like in your business. You can't just sit there and wait trying to perfect everything, because perfection doesn't exist, correct? I know this because I am a recovering perfectionist. Okay. It's not about healing, is not about that. Is stepping into your vulnerability enough, being vulnerable enough to tell that man that this is what you're going through and this is what you're healing, and see how they react and respond. And if they're not doing any healing work on themselves and they're still stuck in the same patterns and wanting that, the anger and the shame and the whatever it is that they're in, then you have to ask yourself, do I follow through with this person? Or allow myself to simply keep going on the healing journey and attract somebody who's willing to do the work. I had to find that person. I had to attract that person. I didn't search for that person. I've set incredibly strict, I want to say qualifications. Simply my values. I've listed my values, and I said, this is what I want to attract. And that is what I'm claiming. And so that's what came. And we're both on that journey together. But it is transparent. So let's look into the wounded masculine. Now, wounded masculine stems from father wound. And the father wound, primary signs are, as you may or may not know, standards, Grace. Standards, yes. Standards. That's the word. Qualifications. You must have these qualifications. You must qualify for this position. Well, that is totally true. You have to know what you want. That was literally the first thing I said to you on day one. So, primary signs of a father wound: emotionally absent, physically absent. You may have had a father who simply was switched off, so they were not present because they were always escaping the reality because of their own emotional wounds, that their body, that their mind is saying, right, we're not even going to attend to this right now. Physically absent, obviously they're just not there. Inconsistent in their actions, critical and controlling. Critical and controlling is a big one, because then we've tried one way that hasn't worked, so we'll try and masculinize ourselves in ways that we'll try to, that the father can approve of us. And underneath all of that, there's anger, because you didn't allow me to be who I am truly deep down, and I don't actually know who I am now. And so this is what we really are moving towards, these emotions, these deep down repressed emotions, so we can speak them out loud and open up in the safe space. So women who are obsessing, really obsessive over man's love, because they're trying to fill a void. They're self-critical, they're critical of others, they're competitive with women, they shut down their feminine, they shut down their creative, expressive parts of themselves. They have excessive grooming patterns that are basically compulsions, will usually tend to attract a man who has their own compulsions, a man who is a workaholic, a man who is compulsive around keeping you at arm's distance, a man who is compulsive around everything else to keep a distance from him and everybody else. And what they tend to do is they tend to move into the one thing that they're really good at is money, making money. They'll go into a mode of, how much stuff can I get? How much stuff can I create around me? Has anyone been with a man like this? How much stuff can I create? And at the end, they end up unhappy because they're disconnected from their emotions, and they're probably disconnected from their true purpose. And so why am I giving you these lists? Because I need you to begin to go out into the world and start to notice these patterns. And when you become more aware, so you kind of like snap yourself out a little bit of that situation that you're in, so you don't get carried away by this primary attraction and this primary pull that you feel towards the other person because they're incredibly attractive, because they are really suave, really smooth, and so on and so forth. You can begin to see the things behind. And this is the first step, because you are navigating. It's not like, hey, let's just go into the cave for the next 2 years and then come out and then go and find ourselves a person. No, you're doing this all the time, and I want this to be as proactive and as easily you can easily apply this in your life right now. And so you can begin to, simply by asking men simple questions, you can begin to notice what is it that they, where is it that they have these compulsions? And it is up to you then you are making a informed decision about this person, if you're pursuing it with them or not. So they're really kind of switched off from their playfulness. And that's a big one. When they're incredibly serious, they're incredibly angry. They come from work and they're just so angry, and they've had had like a long angry day and they've had to do angry things. That's how you know this guy has not been hiking up the trees like a monkey, enjoying himself, screaming out loud, doing things that connects him to his inner child. But then you got to ask yourself, have I been doing those things to connect me to my inner child, my inner girl, right? So there's always a mirror to that. And so whatever you're seeing in these people that you're meeting and in your previous relationships, ask yourself, where are these parts within me? And how can I bring them up without any judgment, but with more compassion and love? And begin to connect with them again. This is what this is about. So I want to ask you, what did your inner child receive from their father? What did you receive from them? What did you receive from them? And you can pop it down in the comments. And I want you to grab your notepads and pens. Don't fall asleep. We've got another 20 minutes to go. And list up the 10 things that you're this little girl, this little Gabby, this little Gracie, Claire, and everybody else. What is that you received from your father? And that will take you into like a really beautiful space. Because it will bring you back into those memories of when your dad was present. It will bring you back into those memories when your dad taught you something. Taught you how to make pancakes. Taught you how to screw on a bolt. Screw on a light bulb. Took you to something. I got pure love from my dad. Yes. So just quickly jot things down. Whatever your intuition brings through for you, it is totally fine. Free from worry, fear, and love, discipline, strength. Beautiful. Beautiful. You got so much, right? Love, interest, my hobbies, everything for me. Gorgeous. And so you must begin to feel like, I want you to tune in with the feelings inside of your body right now. What do you feel? What are the emotions that are coming through? You feel good, right? You feel safe. You feel happy, love. You feel like, yeah, nice. I want you to note down those emotions just on the side of your journal. And now, what did your inner child did not receive from their father? He was proud of me. Beautiful. So what did your inner child did not receive? What did this little girl did not receive? And I want you to go deep. Again, as just as deep as you went for the things that you did receive. What are the things that you didn't receive? And I want to see some comments. Enough time, maybe not enough discipline. Acceptance, acknowledgement that I'm a girl, not a boy. Beautiful. What did your inner child did not receive? Dad was strict. Separate rooms. Christian values supported me academically. Freedom. Hina, you did not receive freedom. Are we on the did not receive now? Confidence, yes. Okay, cool. Did not receive confidence. Strict towards mom. Did not receive confidence. What else? Confidence, control, support. Loving relationships. Good example of loving relationships. Good example of loving relationships. Yeah. He didn't think of me when he abused my mother. He hurt my mother. So much and stressed her. Yeah. Supporting certain things. Compliments. freedom, luxury items though he couldn't afford. Beautiful. Example of a good husband. Quarrels and rude arguments between him and my dad. Wasn't caring towards my family. Was negative about doing business. Right. Yeah, so that already puts us right straight into like a different state, doesn't it? So what is a state of receivership to begin with? What is a state of receiving? What is a quality, what is receiving a quality of? Unconditional love. So have a think, what is receiving a quality of? When do we receive unconditional love? So I didn't understand the question. Yes, I mean, it's it's a bit of a weird way of me trying to, what state do we need to be in to be able to receive? Is that a better question? Open, we need to be open. I like that. Free flowing, delicious. Now I get it. Okay, cool, Grace. Cool. When we are accepted as we are. Beautiful. We need to give and share to receive something back. Given, yes, love that. So we're in a state of receivership when we're in our feminine energy. And it's give and receive, totally. But we can only receive when we are in a state of safety, right? And so this is kind of connected to the whole idea that because we did not receive those things that we've just listed together, because we did not receive those things, it is really difficult for us to trust now to receive those things in it currently, right now. And so it's kind of the mirror to where we are shut off from receiving those things right now. So the list that you've done right now did not receive those things from your father. How can you receive those things from yourself first and foremost? How can you receive those things from yourself? Because everything is within you. Each and every quality that you crave, the things that you did not receive, that you crave in other men, is already within you. And again, we come back to ourselves, isn't it? So it's less about doing the external work, and it's more about doing the internal work. And really looking specifically the things that you've just said. These are individual to each and one of you. Each and one of you is individual, and therefore you will have an individual blueprint, an individual template to all of this. Be that yourself first. Love myself fully. Yes. Love myself and love others. Yeah. And so the list that we've just done, when you look them side by side, what do you see? What do you see? I want you to be completely honest. There is no right or wrong answer. When you literally look at these two lists side by side, Men, of course, they need to be in a state of safety. Men have the same wounding just as women do. They have to embody, they will also lift off, light a plane, and never come back down if they are not embodying true masculine and feminine. So when you look at these two lists, what you see is that this person is just an individual. My father is just an individual. Correct? When you look beyond the label my father, when you look beyond the labels of expectations, your father is just an individual. And the way they loved you is different to the way you love yourself and you love. And it's the same with love language as well in romantic relationships. Just because somebody has, the partner that you're dating has a love language of receiving gifts and your love language is words of affection, that does not mean that you're incompatible. The love language is totally different. And so they loved you the way they could in that moment in time. And so it is, of course, easy to understand. And it's like, yes, forgiveness, totally. But when you do this work and when we go in deeper, you have to understand that our parents are only individuals. And so we go into these exercises, what did we not receive, for example, with a different perspective at them when we look at them. How do men know to be in masculine at the right time in a healthy way? So okay. I'm just trying to read this question. How to be masculine in the right time in a healthy way. So it's the same exact thing. So men have to still do this work the same way that you're doing this work. It's just opposite in the dynamics of how women come back to their feminine and masculine energies and how they heal themselves, and how do men do that, which is different. And we can literally go into another day of this, but if you want to go deeper, we can go deeper. So these emotions that come up, again, these emotions that we just said, that things that we did not receive, they will be bubbling up emotions inside of us, won't they? And so I want you to observe the emotions that are bubbling up, and I want you to write them down. What are the emotions that are bubbling up, have bubbled up for you when you were doing the receiving, about the things that you did not receive? Right, what are the first emotions? I want to hear them. Frustration, anger, sadness, confusion, disappointment, can't win. Yeah. Anger. Yeah. And loved. So we're going to do a very quick process. It'll take us 5 minutes. Anxious forgiveness and validated. Beautiful. So I want you to, for 5 minutes, close your eyes. Take a deep breath into your body. Breathe through your mouth. Open mouth breathing. As you relax into the space, as you relax your body with each and every breath that you take. And just allow yourself to bring up your Father right in front of you right now. Look deep into their eyes. You can see their features. And as you look deep into their eyes, you bring them up right in front of you right now. Allow yourself to feel the emotions that have come through for you just now, the emotions that you've just noted down for the things you didn't receive from them. And just observe, what does that feel like in your body right now? And now as you look deep into their eyes, allow yourself to see, where does this come from? You can ask them, you can ask yourself, where do these emotions come from? And as you look deep into their eyes, try to see beyond them, beyond their actions. What is beneath those actions? And see how much compassion and love can you give this individual right now. For being the way they are, for loving you the way they know, for knowing what they know, for not knowing what they know, what they should know. Take their hands, look at their wrinkles on their hands. You can feel the touch, the warm touch. And just simply as you look into their eyes, say out loud, "Dear Father, I am ready to give you back the pain you've caused me. I am ready to give you back the pain you've caused me, because I can see that it's been your pain all along. Dear Father, I am ready to give you back the pain that you've caused me, because I can see that it's been your pain all along. I am willing to feel the emotions in my body that I have previously shut down, in order to liberate myself and you. For all those times that you, finish the sentence, for all those times that you Breathe deeply into your body. Dear Father, I forgive you now, and if not yet, then I am willing to forgive you in my own time. Dear Father, I forgive you now, and if not yet, then I am willing to forgive you in my own time. Thank you for all the beautiful memories. Thank you for everything I have received, that I have received. Finish the sentence, what you have received. Just allow the emotions to flood your body, expanding and breathing deep into your body now. Allowing yourself to simply breathe deeply through your mouth into the body now as you begin to fill the space of your heart center with more compassion, with more love for this person, for this individual right in front of you right now, for everything that they've experienced. Allow yourself to simply accept them as they are. And you can open your eyes. How are we feeling? Was it easy to connect to your emotions, or was it difficult? Easy. Great. Not difficult, not easy. Okay. But then I feel healed. Nice. Beautiful, Nipuni. Beautiful. So that's when you begin to realize that this work isn't ugly. This work isn't hard either. And what you're really doing is you're flexing your emotional intelligence muscle. You are literally flexing your self-love muscle at the same time when you're doing this work. I cried as well. Beautiful, Marley. Beautiful. It is these connections, it is these moments, and it doesn't matter if the father has passed away. It doesn't matter where the father is. I felt tearful because Dad was gone. I love him so much. Beautiful. Yeah. Yes, and so these emotions that are coming up, these are your signs. I've had a gorgeous woman that I worked with, and the first session that we did was, she just didn't even recognize, her mother passed away, and she didn't even recognize how much built up pain just because she passed away. She had never let out before. And she came out of that session like a new person. Her speech was different, her tonality was different, the way she was walking was different. It is absolutely incredible work, this stuff. And so that's why, my loves, I would love to invite you all to a journey with me for the next 12 weeks together. And we begin on November 1st, which is just in a couple of weeks' time. And it's a magnetic woman immersion. And I'm so excited for this container because it's just a limited number of us together. So it'll be a container of this size. So we get to connect and chat. And I coach you through all of this work that we've been doing together over the past 2 days. But I just won't throw all of it at you. And I will actually, obviously, we'll do this work week by week. And so this journey is for you if you're ready to step into your feminine. This journey is for you if you're ready to let go and recondition yourself. Let go of these relationship patterns that are not serving you anymore. This is for you if you're ready to attract a loving partner, a new kind of love. This is really what we're going for. It is changing our physiology, down to our physiology, to begin to vibrate a different frequency, to give off a different frequency, which attracts, which pulls people in. When I met my partner, Ronnie, I didn't do anything. I did not do anything. It was all the work that I did prior. It was all the work that I did on myself. I did not expect it to happen. I did not expect it to happen. I did not expect things to happen in my life the way they had, but this is what happens when you begin to work on your feminine energy. And so this is for women who are single, who are in relationships, who want to work on themselves. You may have been through a breakup and you're done repeating these old patterns. You may have gone through a long-term relationship. You may have gone through a marriage and you can't get past the pain. It is for you if you're ready to create a relationship with yourself so deep and so unstoppable, unbreakable, that you're just magnetizing. People gravitate towards you. They come to you and say, what, I want some of you. I want some of what you have. What is it you have? I've had women come up to me on the street and say that. And then they become my coaching client, which is incredible. This is what the power of magnetism is. And again, it's not something that I even, it wasn't like, it's not like you're practicing black magic. It's just coming home to yourselves. This is gorgeous work, gorgeous healing work. And hopefully you felt safe with me, because that's what I wanted to give you. I wanted to give you exactly the experience of what it feels like working with me, so you know exactly what to expect in this 12-week journey together. Because the most important thing is for you to have this breakthrough. And I know that you can have this breakthrough. I know that you can, but you have to let yourself see yourself in that place of receiving, of receivership, of surrender, of love. If you're ready for that no drama relationship, that conscious love, if you're ready for knowing how to navigate a conscious relationship, this is for you. And this goes deeper than this. It's always kind of like we're working ourselves towards a healthy relationship, but really underneath this, we're healing our people pleasing. We're healing our codependency. We're healing our fear of rejection. We're healing our relationship with ourselves. And that transcends into other things in your life. It transcends into your relationship with your food. It transcends to the relationship that you have with your job, how you show up, your purpose, who you are as a woman, because magnetism is powerful. And so I want you to just think about it. What does this ease and flow feel like? What does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it look like to you? Being open to pleasure, being so free in the bedroom, in your body, with yourself, intimacy, not being in your head and thinking, actually just being in the present moment. You know what? To me now, this is my normal reality, but there was a point in my life where I wouldn't get out of my head. I would be thinking, right, what do I do? Do they like me? What do I do? Did I say something wrong? It's a really hard and taxing job, and I don't know if any of you know Gabor Maté. Let me know and raise your hand up and say yes if you know Gabor Maté. But a lot of my work is based on Gabor Maté's teaching, and I'm a huge student of his. And he has a great book on how our traumas manifest in our physical as a physical illness. How our emotional state of being can create illness inside of our bodies if we don't do anything about it. And this is why I'm so passionate about the work that I do, and this is how I started off. I started off helping women heal their bodies and their relationship to their bodies, which then went deeper into healing themselves, and then went deeper into relationships. So I want you to receive these codes of feminine magnetism. And so the 4 pillars that we're going to be covering in Magnetic Woman Journey over the next 12 weeks, beginning in 2 weeks' time in November 1st, is cracking your heart wide open. That's the most important thing. It's like starting from the foundations. Then we're going to go into rebirthing you, my loves. Then we're going to look into conscious connection and embodying the feminine magnetism. And so what does that look like on a week-to-week basis? We have to clear the path ahead of us. So that's like all of your templates and your limiting beliefs. And what we're doing is we're reprogramming the mind. We're rehypnotizing you. We are changing your belief system. Then we go into actually unlocking what is it that you want? What are your needs right now? Because a lot of the time we don't speak up. I remember when I started doing this work 10 years ago, and I felt a resistance because there was so much conditioning placed on top of me. I felt such resistance saying, actually, do you know what? I want to do this. I want to be a coach. I don't want to work in a 9-to-5 job for somebody else. I hate that. It began with that. Then we're going to go into remothering. We're going to go deep into remothering and healing the mother wounds. Then we're going to go into healing the father wounds. Then I want to activate this part. I want to activate this part. I want you to speak up for yourself. I want you to learn how to communicate in a relationship in a way that the man understands you. Most of the relationships fail because of lack of communication and inability to communicate your needs. And as women, we've been taught that we should not speak up throughout our generations. And so unlocking this chakra, unlocking your truth, unlocking your voice, it is vital for you. Because if you can't voice what is it that you want in your life right now, what kind of a man you want, you will still keep ending up in the same things, whatever you do. Then we're going to go into self-intimacy, because intimacy is really intimate. That's what it begins with. It's the innermost sense of being intimate with yourself. This is where deep, pure intimacy lies. This is where your wildest sex comes from. This is where your wildest, most spiritually connected, divine stuff comes through you when you are intimate with yourself. Then I want to activate the sensual senses inside of you. I want you to come back into your sexuality, your feminine power, because we've been shamed for generations for being overly sexual. I had a client who has these incredible breasts. She has these incredible breasts, this woman. And she's 50 years old. She's absolutely incredible. And she told me she hides them. She has to hide them because she's so ashamed, because she was overly sexualized and like a sexual object when she was growing up. Oh my goodness, how many of us have been there? I have developed an actual repulsion towards men at one point because I was literally like a walking sex object. And this was during the time when I was bodybuilding, and I looked like this little pretty blonde bombshell who's also, weightlifting and growing her butt and all these things. And you get all of this attention. And so our brain begins to associate it. We begin to create resentment towards men and resentment towards everything that we've been sexualized. So of course we go the other way. And so that requires a deep, immersive session together of unblocking these wounds inside of us. Then I want to activate their intuition inside of you. So one of your biggest superpowers is your intuition. If you can intuit, if you can come back into your body, and a lot of it is working with the emotions, if you can intuit what it is that you need in this moment in time, it's the same thing as with intuitive eating. The same exact thing. It is being so safe. Your nervous system is so nicely regulated. Your body is a vessel. You are crystal clear, and you can feel what's coming through you. Then we're going to go into like the juicy bits of uncoupling. So this is breaking the cords of old breakups. So a lot of the time we don't understand that we still have pain to release from the previous breakup, and we take it, we put it in our backpack, in our life backpack, and we just go off. And we go off to the next relationship looking around saying, okay, come to me with that backpack. And that backpack carries energy. It carries a frequency of the pain. And so we take it into our relationship, and what it is relationship bag. It's relationship trash. It's trash from the previous breakup relationships that we've had. And we try to project it onto our partners. And then they're confused and they don't understand what's going on. And we can't communicate that to them, isn't it? Then we're going to go into coupling. So mastering the masculine and feminine polarities. So actually navigating the polarities in relationships. I'm going to go into conscious relating. So what is a conscious relationship to begin with? So creating foundations in your relationship, wherever it doesn't matter if it's your relationship with your child, it's a relationship with your new partner. It's a new form of relating. It's a new model. It is a model that transcends the patriarchal structures of what it is to be in a relationship. If you learn this, you're going to create such an expansive relationship that it is going to feed you not just love, it will feed you abundance. It will unleash the wildest dreams that you have, and maybe you're going to create something fucking incredible with this partner. So you just don't know, and you need to be open to all of this beautiful stuff, my loves. And finally, embodying the magnetism. So we're going to write the next chapter together in your life. And this is about manifesting. How do you manifest that from that space of pure surrender, of pure flow, of pure... And this is what I see in women that don't they don't embody their feminine energy. That's the first thing that they see, is when they start to do this work. And they're like, okay, yeah, I'm learning to be a feminine woman. The thing is, I had too many thoughts in my head, and I was like, which one am I going to say? And then I forgot all of them. Sorry. I am trying to be a feminine woman, and it's like learning a new, it's like learning how to ride a bike all over again. It's like so unfamiliar to us. And so we can trip ourselves over by still falling back into fear, falling back into the old traps of being overly masculine, and still manifesting from that masculine space. And what is manifesting from masculine space? Is pure work. You put in the work daily. It's hard work. And that's not what feminine energy is about. It's really magnetic, and it's really magical. And that's what I want to teach you. So in that moment, in that whole 12 weeks together, we'll do 2 live somatic healing sessions on top of weekly coaching sessions on these different subjects. So in the container, what you will receive is 12 live coaching sessions with myself. You will receive 2 live somatic healing sessions, 5 transformative immersions that you will do on your own. There is a bonus to Private Magnetic Woman Mastermind, which is really, you shouldn't even call it a bonus, because when you're in that space of healing together with other women, and you show up daily and you say, hey, I'm here, I'm open, I am receiving everything, that is when things shift. When you know that you're being supported by other women who are on the same journey as you. I've been in so many containers, and I've been in so many communities, retreats, transformative things where I know that the community is really helping me to be vulnerable. This is why sometimes these containers, when they're run the right way, when they're done the right way, and you really feel supported by the person that's guiding you, it can even be more powerful than a one-to-one, because you're also receiving input from all of these gorgeous women as well. So I'm doing something really crazy, and this time around I want to give you a bonus. It's a huge bonus. It's a bonus worth another $555, and it's a 28-day mind-body reset to heal your body course with myself, and it's a 28-day thing. So it's really helping you restore your health. And again, this was born from working with all women that were in their masculine energy. And although I've created this course, not thinking about the masculine and the feminine, I was just thinking about obviously who I'm serving. So all of your hormonal issues, all of your weight gain, all of your food cravings and sugar cravings and all these things, they actually stem from the fight or flight response, of the stress, of the cortisol shoots up, and all these things happen, all these biochemical things happen in your body. And what happens is the biology starts to change in our body, and so we put on weight, and it causes us to crave, the hormones are out of balance, so it causes us to crave sugar, it causes us to crave, and so all of a sudden we think that it is our fault that we're not eating the things that we're supposed to be eating, but actually there's a bigger, greater reason, and it's caused by all of the stress inside of our body, all of these emotions, the repressed emotions that are inside of our bodies. So I'm throwing in that bonus for you, and you can use it if you want to use it. If you don't want to use it, the course is there, and you have all of that content, and you're in the mastermind for the rest of your life, which is really cool. And right now I'm doing an offer for all of you gorgeous women that are here on this 3-day event with me. You can enroll into the course for $1,500 over the next 5 days. You can pay in full, which this container is £2,222, or you can pay it in installments. So if you, for whatever reason, you're waiting for your payday or whatever, then you can simply pay in installments. And if you want to say yes right now and you're ready, you can take up the offer of £1,500, and we can start the work together. And so, like I said, the container starts on the 1st of November, and I'm so excited to do this together, to do this work. And so finally, if you have any questions about the container, if you have any questions about today's session, if you have any questions about me, about anything, then this is your time to ask me questions about the container and so on. And now I will give you the link to register to the container right here in the comments. This is the registration to the container. You've got 5 days to register for the 1,500 access. And if there are any questions, if you're thinking about questions, then let me know. Thanks for this, has been amazing. Thank you, Emily, so much. So if there are no more questions, then I will be communicating with you through the Self-Reclamation Collective. Hopefully all of you are on it, because that's the only way you've received the link. Like I said, the offer stands until until actually I don't know the date. It's from today, 5 days. 5 days from today. Okay, so that's when you can buy your discounted offer to join us beautiful women to becoming a magnet to healthy relationships. And we're starting on the 1st of November, all of us together. And if you have any questions about the container, if whatever it is that you want to ask me in private, you can simply send us an email. I'll give you my email for @.com. There is our email. And you can ask all of the questions also in the group as well, in the self-reclamation group. And the most important thing is, my loves, even if you feel like, okay, if you feel like this is a full body yes, then I want you there. If you don't feel like this